I recently did an episode with this go-kart where I mount the turbo diesel engine and then I adapt the CVT torque converter setup to take advantage of the torque and get a high top speed. Problem is the top speed was only 35 miles per hour. The reason for this is because the CVT setup that I purchased is made for a gas engine, which has a much higher rev limit than the diesel engine does. The diesel red line's at about 3,700 RPM. A gas engine is probably double that. So the way I see it is, right now we have a 10-tooth drive gear. I'm gonna need a 20-tooth drive gear in order to make up for that RPM shortage, but I could not find that gear anywhere online. I'm gonna have to make it. And the one thing that I was not looking forward to was making a sprocket, because anybody who's made a sprocket before in a CNC machine or something like that knows that the geometry of the teeth here are a little bit of a pain to draw in CAD. It definitely takes some time. So I was really happy to find out that the water jet machine that I have has a feature in the software that allows you to quickly mock up these sprockets or drive gears. Check this out. You just right click on shapes and go right into this sprocket shapes generator, and this is absolutely amazing. Look, you just click on sprocket. The number of teeth we want is going to be 20. We put our chain pitch, which is the width in between the links measured on center of each pin, and then we measure our roller diameter. That's going to be a 0.31 roller diameter, and then you hit go and bam, there's our sprocket right there. All we have to do now is make a hole in the center for the jack shaft and a cutout for the machine key, and we're ready to go. My tool path is loaded. The next thing I need is some material for our gear, and that is what I have my scrap shelf for. I'm looking for some 1/2 inch thick mild steel. Oh man, this is 3/8, so that should do the trick. We're gonna place it right on our cutting bed here, and that's it. There's our sprocket. Man, this machine is a rock star. We just took a piece of scrap metal that was headed to the trash and made it into a usable part. Almost. Next thing I need to do is assemble the entire torque converter. The water jet did a tremendous job at cutting out that sprocket. That is absolutely perfect. Look at that. As everybody suggested, I went and bought a 40 series torque converter. I have it right here. And I don't see much difference between this and the 30 series except for the physical size, because the thickness of the belt is the same. It's 3/8 of an inch. But however, since the 40 series torque converter is physically larger, you're gonna have a larger circumference. You're gonna have more surface area contact via the length of the belt that's in contact with either one of these pulleys at any given time. But unfortunately, I'm not gonna use the 40 series because I need to make shafts and all kinds of adapters and stuff, and I'm just not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna run it the way it is with the 30 series torque converter. Whatever we get, we get. This is a 20-tooth sprocket. By the numbers, we should be able to achieve a top speed of double what we did before with the 10-tooth sprocket, which was 34 miles per hour. If the engine has enough power to sustain 70 miles per hour. So next thing I need to do, lengthen the chain. All set, nice and tight. It's rubbing on this bar here. I'm just gonna throw that in the water jet real quick. I'm gonna open up my tool path, type in the thickness of my material, the type of material that I'm going to water jet. Yep, looks about right. For this, I'm just gonna use the saw feature. I'm gonna just cut right here from that part of the circle straight into this corner, about 45 degrees. That looks good. There you go, much better, completely clear. Yeah, that gear is very aggressive. Look at how big that gear is now compared to the torque converter and also compared to the drive sprocket. I think this drive sprocket is like 35 teeth and this is 20 teeth. The gear is massive. So I think this thing is gonna get a good top speed. Last thing I have to do is put a boost gauge on here, which I forgot last time. and I'm gonna pull that GPS off and put a Race Logic V-Box in its place. That's about it. Let's hit the road. I just arrived at the test location, and this time, since I'm going for a top speed run, I need a nice long straight that's gonna be safe, so I had to come to an actual airport. It just so happens that Sherlock is starting an RC jet club called SkyRanchJetClub right in this very location. I'm gonna pull the go-kart out, start this thing up, and just do one straight run from end to end and see what my top speed is with this turbo diesel setup with the 22 gear. See what it does. All right, here we go. Let's do it. All that hay made me spin around. So I hit about 45 miles per hour, which isn't that much better than the previous run, but it was better. Man, that thing like tore me up. I mean, tires are so hard, and there's a bunch of little bumps and stuff in this runway. And yeah, that was fun. So that's it. That's the top speed on that go-kart with the 22 gear, Hobart, SkyRanch Airport. So make sure you look in the description below. I'm gonna leave information on his jet club. That was it. That's the top speed. This is the last episode with that turbo diesel on this go-kart. I only did this to satisfy everybody's curiosity who said they wanted to see it. Other than that, I am ready to mount the jet engine on this thing and do a top speed with the jet engine. The V-Box works fantastic. As you can see, it was super accurate, 45 miles per hour. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and check out my website, shopwarpedperception.com. I have a link to most of the equipment that I use, including the drone, as well as information on Sherlock's Jet Club. So again, thanks for watching. See you later. See you in the next video. Adios. Gangster.
A lot of people say that they're real, but he's like real, like real.
I'm a G-A-N-G-S-T-A gangster.
Oh! Real than real. Yeah, that's how I feel. You know the deal. Party hopping while we chill.